Hey everyone, it's Benny, and yes, I'm still using my crappy PS5 controller mic because I can't make a proper setup. But ignore that for a while, there's nothing really much I can do about that. Anyway, I did promise I would be making more videos lately to try and get back into the flow. And I figure a good way to do that would be to make a fairly easy video to make, and one that I do kind of want to make because I am interested in talking about this. But I decided to put together a wish list for stuff I want to see in the next GTA Online update. We have the newswire from recently that, does confirm a lot of the stuff we are getting in this update, but I want to go a step further and talk about what I want to see in this update. General improvements or additions that I think would fit well with this update, as well as just make the game a little bit better. And we can start by something that I think really should have been added a long time ago. Now, Rockstar is finally adding wildlife to the game. Fucking 10 years later. We had to go through three different console generations for this and online, but whatever. Wildlife is finally being added to the game. That was confirmed, so I'm going to take it a step further. I want to see a hunting side activity similar to what there is in story mode, where you take pictures of animals after you kill them with a scoped rifle or a shotgun or whatever it is that it requires you to use, and then take a picture and it gives you a bit of money. Now, I don't think it would be much money. Considering what Rockstar did with the taxi business, I think it would be completely expected if they were to just basically port over the hunting activity from story mode in some sense or another. It would be cool if there were rewards for doing the activities, like say maybe you get some cool clothing unlocks, or maybe you get like a special weapon livery or something. Maybe you get a special livery for vehicles. Either way, I wouldn't mind it. I think it would just be a neat little addition to the game, just to give it a little something else to do. I can only do golf and tennis so many times where I want to do something else. And speaking of things to do, let me ask you a question. And this goes for anyone, by the way. When's the last time that you have ever done import export, just because? Now, if you are the professional, please put your hand down. I'm just gonna be honest, I have not done import export in years. When it went double money recently, I thought, it's actually been a minute since it went double. Let me go and check it out. Maybe with it being double money, it'll be worth it. Yeah, no. Look, I'm gonna be honest. Import export is kind of a dead business right now. By default, it gives you 80K. Even if you get a top range vehicle, that's kind of your net profit. And that's not even going to be your total profit because there's also the cost of repairing vehicles if it gets damaged, which it probably will. It's just such bad business, and there's not even many ways to run it. Literally, all you do is you steal a car, make some changes to it, and then you fucking drive it from A to B. It's there's just, it's not even just a variety. I get it. It's a garage. It's a fucking chop shop. So what all could they do? I think what they need to do is they need to give it the import extra treatment. They need to give it the criminal enterprises treatment, where they add a whole bunch of new features, new ways to run the business. For instance, maybe there could be an option as a solo player to sell multiple at a time. Like maybe if you export 4 vehicles, it loads them in the back of a trailer, and then you drive that trailer to a destination. Or maybe if you do a thing like pay an extra fee, you can eliminate the risk of having NPCs chase you. Or maybe you could have something like the hangar and the CEO warehouses do, where you could pay a warehouse worker to source vehicles for you, while you do other stuff. All I'm saying is that I really think there needs to be a touch up to import export. And it also does need a pay buff because gonna be honest, for the amount of effort you have to go through for some of those source missions, 80K just isn't even worth it. Hell, 200K is barely worth it. Rockstar just really needs to touch up this business. It's so outdated. For comparison, we could take a look at the nightclub, which got a massive touch up in the Criminal Enterprises update. First of all, nightclub popularity isn't just worth doing now, it's actually profitable. Like, you make 250K within, like, several times within one session. Like, it's actually pretty decent money, especially if you're a new player who just got into the game, because that's basically easy money. Then there's the fact that nightclub popularity is actually very simple to maintain. You just hop in your nightclub every now and then, and you do that thing with the VIP. If your popularity still isn't full, you just switch your DJs or, do a popularity mission. Worst case scenario, there's like plenty of ways to keep your nightclub popularity full, so it's always like, filling up the safe. And even then, there is a whole business underground which you can link to other stuff, which, granted, that's always been a part of it, but it's just another thing to tack onto that. The nightclub is arguably one of the best, if not the single-handedly best business of the game, because it's great for new players now as well as veteran players. It's not the juggernaut purely meant for veteran players that it once was before. It's actually pretty decent for noobs now. Like, this is what I mean. And even the CEO warehouses got some love because now you can, like, pay technicians to source crates passively. All I'm saying is Import Export really needs to get this treatment. Next on my wish list is more free mode events. Now, I'm gonna be honest, even though I run businesses more often than not, I still do appreciate when Rockstar adds little things to the world that just basically breathe life into it. One of the biggest problems this game has consistently had over the years is that not enough has really been done to make free mode immersive. Well, that's definitely been addressed with a lot of recent updates. Not only are armored trucks back and better than they were before, there's also store robberies where a random like NPC will rob a store. We can take the cash from them and either keep it or return it for extra XP. There's like four different variations of time trials, which if you happen to be really good at racing, you can tackle. There's crime scenes, which if you raid enough of them, you get a free weapon that also happens to be really good. By the way, if you don't have the service carbine, do the thing to get it. It's like really fucking good. The point is, there's all kinds of stuff to do in free mode now, and I think that's awesome. You know, for an open world game, I think it's kind of telling that I'm like demanding for more open world stuff, but whatever. All this stuff I'm talking about is really cool to see. It just makes the world feel even more like alive. And adding wildlife, as I mentioned before, is definitely going to do that even more. And honestly, I want to see more of it. I want to see more like little things here and there in the open world that make it feel more like a living and breathing city. Number four on my list is actually a fairly simple one. Rockstar, please do not mess this up. If you don't know, Rockstar has confirmed that there will be a new mode specifically for drift racing. I'm sure this is actually a highly requested feature. I mean, drifting is a very popular trend just with car culture in general. And they even hinted at this with the tuners update. Like, they gave us low grip tires as well as, like, the ability to lower suspension on certain vehicles, which I guess that's cool, but, like, I'm gonna be honest, I could not imagine myself racing with these physics. And if drift racing in GTA is going to be anything like in other games, it'll probably be points based. So I don't know how the fuck an average player is going to be expected to do this unless they make a new handling model, which, like I said, if they're going to go that route, Rockstar really needs to try not to mess this up. 5M servers, if you guys didn't know, actually have like tons of different ways that they manage drifting physics. Like they have certain handling models that they use in certain modded vehicles. And I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence that Rockstar happened to have bought 5M soon before this, but never mind. That's just me and my scatterbrained nature. Either way, I am just crossing my fingers and really hoping that Rockstar doesn't do anything with this that like leads to some like really messed up physics, or like I'm hoping they don't make a whole different physics model just for it to just be terrible, or that this doesn't end up being some fucking lazy use of the current drifting physics with low grip vehicles. I don't think I would mind if the races used this like low grip tires sort of physics. I guess all I'm saying is whatever Rockstar does, please do not mess this up. All I'm asking is that Rockstar use their heads when it comes to this, because this is something that a lot of games do not get right. And of course, I saved the most important for last. Now, you guys know I am very vocal about how much I hated the fact that San Andreas Mercenaries was an otherwise okay DLC that removed content from the game. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. And the Vinewood Car Club is really just proof of Rockstar's intentions with that part of the update. And I think the community can collectively agree that we honestly just would have been better off without that update, because of the fact that it literally tried to paywall already existing content. And here's the thing, I don't mind the Vinewood Car Club existing. This is probably a controversial opinion, but on its own, as just a way for GTA Plus members to get discounts, I don't really mind it because it doesn't impact the rest of the player base. It basically just gives people something they can do and like whatever. I don't care about that. What irritates me is the fact that every month now Rockstar basically gets to take 10 different vehicles that we otherwise wouldn't be able to buy and throws them all into one place where you have to have a GT Plus membership in order to buy them. And I think that is just blatantly disgusting. And for this update, I really want Rockstar to look at this, look at how unpopular this opinion is, and basically backpedal. I want them to go back and just be like, okay, we're not going to remove anymore. I would love for them to put all the cars that they removed back on the websites. Unfortunately, I don't think that will ever happen. So I think the next best thing we can hope for is that they just decide they won't remove any more. Unfortunately, I think that's the best we'll all be able to do. And as for the 100 car garage that Rockstar is adding specifically for GTA Plus members, it's just really gonna suck if they do that, but then they don't give other free players, like at the very least, a couple of extra apartment slots. I feel like it's gonna be a huge waste if we don't get any new garage space, but then GTA Plus members get like 100 extra car slots. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and Rockstar really needs to rethink their approach to peddling GTA Plus. I've been very vocal about my tirades against GTA Plus, and you know what? I'm gonna keep going with it because this shit is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I thought the Simeon's dealership and the luxury autos add-on was a cool idea. I thought the test rides at the car meet was fine. Those are generally great ideas, and that would be a great way to promote vehicle discounts. Unfortunately, Rockstar has also used it to FOMO vehicles that have been in the game literally for like years. And I think what Rockstar needs to do with this next update is back the fuck off with that shit. Because that is like actually gross. Personally, at this point, I could care less about the whole GTA Plus bullshit, but they need to stop removing shit from the game and then peddling it through a fucking subscription model. So, yeah, that's basically my last thing on this wish list. Anyway, all of the things I've said here are basically things that I would really love to see in the next update. Let me know what you guys think. What would you like to see in the upcoming DLC? That's it for now. I'm out.